Yeah.
Whatever
But
you
we
have.
can't, when we have saved that editor responses, it is there, but as a spreadsheet, it's not seen.
No. That spreadsheet, you can go to the course website and see there. Whatever you submit, along with whoever has submitted it, all that will be updated in the course website.
But in the course website, when I click, it's saying that access denied.
No. That could have been yesterday, but then we have made it openly shareable. So now you see, I
Okay,
think
okay.
for everybody is facing this problem. Only madam is facing this problem. Others are able to see.
No, sir, we can't see. We can't see.
Sir,
No.
actually, you kept one Google form in our group.
Yes.
Day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4. So there,
Yes, madam.
yes,
Now
there I
go.
had.
You fed there. Now you can go to this course website, FDP and online teaching tools. Go to outcomes. Once you
Yes,
go
sir.
here, this sheet is visible. Just,
Yes,
I think this is.
I'm just going there. I'll show you. It's not visible.
It's not visible.
No.
No. Yeah.
So we can only send the response form, but we
No, that
can't
Yeah,
is
see the
we can't
Google
see.
sheet. We can't see.
We can't see the spreadsheet.
okay. That is different. This is again different. Just give me a second. I'll let me go to the drive.
We are going to the site and then we go to outcomes and in the
Yes.
Hello, sir.
site, and
Yes.
then we
Yes.
see
Yeah,
that
it is.
new outcome sheet.
Hello, sir.
That new outcome
Sir,
sheet we are not able to see.
sir, please present your screen
Yeah, it
also.
is.
Screen is presented, right? You are not able to see the screen.
One second, 1 second. I have
It is
pinned.
big.
I
No,
have
sir.
pinned you.
Actually, I have checked it. It's not visible.
Just a second.
It's not visible, sir.
No, it says stop present. No, not which is not visible. Screen is not visible, or
No, the spreadsheet.
Not,
yeah.
not screen, sir. Spreadsheet.
Okay. So this is the
Spreadsheet is not
spreadsheet.
visible.
Actually, I made this yesterday itself. Okay. You check now.
Yes, sir. Just a second.
No, sir, it is still not visible. Does not connected, it says.
It's now it's seen, sir. Now it's seen.
It is seen now. Just
It's seen.
refresh your page, madam. Just refresh your page.
Okay.
Yes, sir. It is
And
visible now, sir.
Now
yeah.
it's
See,
visible.
okay. So this has helped us. Yeah. This has
Yeah.
helped us learn one more thing, that whenever you share a file of this sort using your website, only thing is you'll have to go to that file and click on this share and ensure here anyone on the internet with this link can view this.
Yeah, right. So we'll have to give access accordingly.
Yes. I don't know where from the sound is coming. Yeah, now it has gone. Gnaneshwar sir, you have to mute yourself. So now what you do next time when you face this problem, when you do it for your site, you'll have to go to this sheet that you have shared. You have to open this sheet from your Google Drive. See, in my Google
Okay.
Drive, this is the sheet which I have actually built to capture your responses. And this is the sheet which I have shared on my site. So this you should open, and maybe you can go to here, share, or you can just do the right click there on the file itself, share. And here, if you want to share it with limited number of people, you should add their names here. If I want to share it with limited number of people, but I want to share it with everybody. So here, this you should say you have two options here. One, restricted. If I make it restricted, you will not be able to see that now. So, but if I make it anyone with the link, then say done. So if I enable that for anybody with that link to see that file, now it is visible to everybody.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you.
So this difficulty has learned made us learn one more thing. That's good. So now let's go back to today's business. So today, as I told you, we'll be covering Google Forms. I'm sure some of you might have already used this very simple but powerful
Sir,
tool.
sir, a small
The basic idea of a Google Form.
make your
Yes,
screen maximize, sir.
Yes, madam.
Just everything is gallery.
Yeah, I will
Just
do that. I will do that. Once I go to that screen, I'll do that. Okay. Yeah, also, there were few requests that we will keep all the questions to the end, and we'll spend a little time on that. So kindly note down your questions if you have any, unless it is kind of very much interrupting your understanding flow. Kindly maintain restraint to the end. We'll take all the questions. Fine. So the major objective of a Google form is collection of data. So it is now being used very widely in research. That we had difficult times when we were designing a questionnaire and then taking the questionnaire into the field and collecting data physically. All that has changed now, and the Google form gives you a facility where you can sit at home and reach out to the entire world to fill the data that you require. There are, of course, issues related to this being valid, etc. That's a different case. But primarily, whether you have it in office or personal life or professional life, and nowadays you may not be surprised that even for events like weddings, birthdays, invitations are sent over Google form, and people are asked to confirm whether they're coming or not, things like that. So it's a very useful tool. So we'll be spending whole 1 hour on that, and then I think there are so many options in it. So we'll try to explore maximum options possible, and of course you're always welcome to experiment with it the following day, that is tomorrow, and then come out with your own Google form by tomorrow evening. So what we do, we'll go to same as usual. You go to these 9 dots. Before I go there, let me, like somebody was requesting, let me make it in the you want me to put it on the spotlight?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Mode. That's what normally people. So go to this 9 dots and see if there is forms available. If they're available, it's okay. Even if it is not available, it's very simple. What I told you, just get into the Google search page and type Google Forms. So Google Forms, go to the Google Forms, and here go to Google Forms. So this is the page where you land. Like you have already seen, this is similar to the page where you landed when you searched for Google Sites also. Now once you reach this page, just copy this link to your folder. So simply it is Google Forms. You can see, so next time you want to go to Google Forms, very simple, click on the new tab, go to your folder, simply click Google Forms. So you are in a Google Forms. So if you have already used the Google Forms, they are here. See, just before we started this class at 5:55 also, I was experimenting a little bit, couple of new things that I wanted to teach you. So then you see here, these are all the forms that I used recently, as old as May 2020. That means, so there are a lot of forms that I've been using. So you get a history of all of them. Now that you want to have a new form, you can go to a blank form, and here also there are certain templates available. that, for example, if it is a party invitation, straight away you can pick up this form. Let us just see how it looks like. So there are few, questions that have already been, made and kept for you. So if you want to use these questions, you can use these questions. Otherwise, no issues. So there are templates also available, like party invite, contact information. If you're collecting somebody's contact information, so you can use this form and things like that. So as a beginner, you might just want to try this, or now by 7 p.m. today, you all become experts, so you need not use this templates. So we'll go with the blank form, and let us start from the scratch. So once you go here, this is how the form looks like. It starts with a sample question, something like this, just to guide you how to get going. And the first thing is you can give this form a title. Let us give this form a title: OTT FDP test form. Right. Then you can also save this form with the same name. So as of now, the name is here, untitled form. So see, simply click here. It takes whatever is the title I've given here. So if you want to, there's a spelling mistake, so I'm changing it. So the Google is artificially intelligent. So the moment you go there, it takes this particular thing. That becomes the title, the file name. And this is the folder where it is saved, where this form is saved. So if you want to be particular, like you want to save it in a folder, you can click on this and you can choose in my drive under OTT FDP, there is a folder. In this folder, I have created OTT classwork. The rest of the things are regarding administration of this workshop. So as far as teaching is concerned, let me put it here. So here I'm saving this particular form. So later on when I want to access this form, I can go there. And now, you also have a very shortcut. Just click here, drag it and put it here. So now this is the form that, one, you can go to your Google Drive and see and access that form from there. See, I'll show you where it is. Now, if I want to access that form, go to my Google Drive. I have to remember this path where the form is. Go to OTT FDP, go to OTT classwork. So here is my form. Just by clicking this, I can get back to this form. Right? So you might work for some time and leave it in between, then you can come back and do it the following day also, it doesn't matter. Or like I've already shared the link here, I've already stored the link here, so I can access to this page from, by clicking here also. If you click here, again, you come back to this. Right, here you want to give a description of this whole form. What is this all about? Generally, you start with, dear research, dear respondent, or if you're using it in a classroom setup, you can say dear student. So then you can type some message as to why you're collecting this information, as to how this will be useful, etc. So this is basically the description of the form. And once you know where the form is, and also you know how to access it, then you can start working on that. And here it is asking you for the first question. So maybe I can start with a name. This is how it will ask, but how should you take the response from the respondents? So here, what kind of answer is expected for this question? So here you have the options. Will it be a short answer question, or will it be a paragraph? Will it be a multiple choice question? Will it be check boxes, drop down, file upload, etc.? So when you're asking name, I think it is short answer. That means the respondent will simply type his name. So your first question is made. Now there are very small features in this which are visible actually to the naked eye. We'll just discuss these features and we'll move on. If you want, you can give this a serial number 1 name, or this is optional, depends on your requirement. So then what you do, the first thing is it a required question? That means answering this question is compulsory or not. So capturing name is compulsory for you, and you wouldn't allow people to submit the response without a name, then simply make it required. So that means what, while they are submitting this form, while they are responding to this form, unless they fill some answer here, it will not accept the form. It will show that it has to be submitted. Right? That is one thing. Of course, then you want to delete this particular question, you have this button right away here. Then you want to go to the next question. So the next question is the plus sign here, actually. So there is also one more option. I'll come to that little later. So by adding plus sign, you go to the next question. So let us say the second question is your institution. Your institution. So see, again, the Google's artificial intelligence, the moment you typed institution, it has auto-picked short answer as the type of response. So if it is not short answer, you can change this. And you want to go to your next question, then you can use this particular duplicate option, wherein if your next question is going to be similar to the question that you are having, that means it is a small answer question or short answer question, instead of pressing this plus sign, add question, you can actually duplicate this question. Put on this duplicate, then the only thing is it comes along with the question name. So here, let me go and edit it. This is question number 3, and let me say place. Let me say place. Right? So once I have place, then again it is a short answer question. I can leave it there. Then let us look at the other kinds of options that we have. Then let me duplicate it again. And let us say now I go, the fourth question is, let us say gender. So for this gender, see, the moment you set gender, this has changed to multiple choice. So basically Google's intelligence. So now I'll retain that as multiple choice. So the option 1 is male. Sorry, I'll start with female. Then option 2 is male. Now what it will show, it will give them an option to choose male or female. But how this actually looks, how this form looks for people who are filling it. So for that, what you can do, now you can preview this. You see here you have this I preview. So this is how the form looks like. So here gender, they'll have to select male or female. Okay. Or you can keep a drop down. Now I'll also share, save this link here, so that whenever we want to preview, by simply clicking here, we can actually preview that. So I'll write preview. So now let me go back to the form. Right. Let me also click it here so that we can easily navigate between these two. Right. So this is the form and this is the preview. This is how it looks like. This is where I'm editing it. Okay. Now, of seconds it gets saved. So here, So we've selected check boxes, right? There is some internet issue. So let me take that as check boxes. And now, so this is how it looked like. Just instead of that what you call circles, it will come out with check boxes. But the difference you would have observed, the problem with check boxes is that any number of options, it's not one single correct answer or one single option. So somebody can select both of them. So you have to be careful when to use checkbox and when to use the multiple choice. So in checkbox, if you are expecting more than one response of the given responses, then you use checkboxes. Otherwise, you use multiple choice. So this is done. Likewise, now you can experiment. All the things like if you're using something like a drop down. So in the drop down, how it looks, so you will save space by using drop down.
Lokanan,
Yes, sir.
can you copy and paste the questions from somewhere instead of typing?
Yes, sir. We can't exactly copy. There is an option called import, sir. We can import it from.
Yes,
I'll
for
show
example, sometimes we have prepared our questionnaire in a Word form.
Yes, sir.
Then I wanted to translate it into a Google form. But instead of
Word to Google form, I am not sure, sir. Maybe from Excel to Google form, there should be an app, what to call an app or add-on that we'll have to check, sir.
Okay, sure. Okay then. Yeah.
But what you can do is from one Google form to another Google form, you can copy.
That can be done, but usually what happens in the real life situation,
Yes,
we will prepare our questionnaire
sir.
in a Word format. But when
Google form, I am not sure. If somebody knows it, they can respond. To import Google form from Excel, I think it should be there, sir.
Sir, you can copy, sir, from Word to Google form.
No. Copy paste is okay. That question one by one question that we can do.
Yeah.
But can we import all of them into a form directly? That's what sir is asking.
Sir, import directly we cannot do, but we'll have to copy each and every option singly.
Yeah, each and every option singly you can copy, because this is all what you call text fields. You can copy the question from somewhere, some Word file, and you can come here and paste. I mean, for example, you copy, like you're just copying and pasting it from that field to this field. It can be done. But what Sar was asking is whether you can directly convert a Word file into a Google form questionnaire. Sir, I'll do some research.
That is only a question for this discussion.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. There should be some way we should experiment. Maybe Murugan, if you have done it, you can respond actually. Anyway, we'll just look at that, sir. No problem.
Yeah.
Now, this is how when you use a drop down, what happens? You will save the time. Save the space. So instead of having all those options, it will only have this space. So where people can choose that from this. And why should we use drop downs or multiple choice or check boxes is so that people don't make a mistake. So you don't give them any option. If you can just give them gender and give it as a paragraph or give it as a short answer, people kind of come out with different kinds of answers. M capital, rest all small, capital case, all capitals, right? So all kinds of cases we will get, and people also make mistakes. So it's always better when you know the options available, use either multiple choice or drop down according to the requirement. So then you can also keep an image into this particular question, and then you can have a question like you might start with something like data interpretation kind of question where you give a graph and then ask people to answer questions based on that graph. So, for example, you can go here. Here you see this image, and you can actually take some image. Or you can just simply type graph. So maybe you can just give this graph. Now this forms part of the question. So the respondents will be able to see this graph when they open the form, right? So you can also here you can just type your question. Look at the following graph and answer the.
Please repeat this, sir.
Yeah. So here. See, for example, here you want to insert a graph or a picture or whatever, maybe in psychology related tests, etc. You show them a picture and give them some options. Simply click here, this icon here, picture. Then you can upload the picture from your computer. I just took a picture from the internet by simply saying graph. Instead of graph, this time I took grapes. Right, so you can give a question like this, a picture, and ask the respondents to count the number of grapes in the above diagram and enter the number. Okay. Similarly, like you have an option to insert a diagram in the question. In fact, in the answers also you can insert diagrams. See here. So you give a question, the first answer could be a diagram, first answer could be a picture. So you give this. So this is the first answer. Then as the second answer, you give another picture. Right. So your question should be at so much 50 degrees temperature. Which of the following writing instruments is good to use? Right. So then how it looks for them. So this is how it looks for them. So at 50 degrees temperature, which are the following? These pictures. So if you want, you can actually add the name also. Pencil. This is pen. You can give a description as well as the picture. So this is how it looks in the form. So you can add pictures in the what to call the question, and you can also add pictures in the answers. Further, what you can do, you can actually insert a YouTube video. So here you see add video. So if you click on this, it will ask you for a video link. So you should have already made this video, and probably it should have uploaded it. So you can copy. So here you go. So you insert this, click this, then select. So here I have inserted video as a question. So that means look at the following video and answer. Right? So how does it look for the viewers? So somebody filling this form, so you will get this video link here. So you can play that video. It plays in this small window, or if you want to have full screen window, you can click here. It says full screen is unavailable, maybe, right? So you will look at this video and then answer the questions. So you can insert a video there. And sometimes what happens, you have already made these several forms in the past, as a result of which now, especially when you're using Google Forms for quizzes, something which we'll be covering as part of Google Classroom evaluation techniques. So what you can actually do, you can have a database of questions. For each subject, you can maintain a database of questions, which is nothing but, again, a huge Google form. So where from that database, you can actually import questions into specific tests that you are conducting. Say, for example, if you're teaching one subject called financial management, unit-wise, you can upload all the questions into the system and keep it ready. So, and those questions can be imported here. So here, you see the import question. So if I press on this import question, it will show me the different forms that I have already with me in my Google Drive. So these are all different forms. Let me go to a form where I have some questions. Okay. Yeah, something like, say, quiz 0 or OTT quiz, something like that. So in this quiz, I already have some questions, right? So I can select all the questions, and there are 5 questions. If I say import questions, automatically they'll come and sit in this particular Google form. Or instead, I just want to select, I'll just look at these questions. Let us say this question I want. How does the protect workbook function, right? So then import question. So here you see this question has come. So I need not retype this question if that question is already stored in my one of the Google Forms. But you should have a plan of it. You should know how many forms you have, and then maybe in your Google Drive you can have a folder where database of questions. So there you can store it so that you can easily access them. So whenever you are building a new form.
Lokanand,
Yes, sir.
when we are making, for example, we are making question paper by
Yes,
using
sir.
this.
Yeah.
Is there any possibility to give a common instructions like for 10 questions, from this question to this question?
Yes, coming,
Choose
sir.
the right option. Some kind of instruction also can be given.
Yes, sir. I'm coming to that. So for that, what we will do, we use this called sections. Even while doing a questionnaire also, let us say sometimes we separate the questionnaire into 3-4 sections. Maybe personal details, one section. Then maybe you can ask questions related to one particular construct at one section and things like that. And similarly, if your question paper is having part A, part B, part C, what we'll do this as sections. So let us say add section. So this is the section 2. So here I'll say part B. So in the first this is by default first section. The first one is by default first section. So I can make it part A. Then let us say add one more section. So I can call it part B. Like that, you can have any number of sections. That is the first thing. Then how do I add questions here? Here I can give instructions, sir. These instructions hold good for this entire section.
Okay.
So under this section, then I can add questions. So here.
Okay.
So let me call it A1. This is question A1. Then I can add question A2 and things like that. So this
each section is a form. Each section is a form now. Kind of. A mini form.
Yeah, you can do that, sir. Each section can be a question. Under that, you can give all the how many number of questions you want. So here in this section, it is only the description. Here we don't have a question.
Yes.
So here we only give the description. Based on that description, they will answer these questions: A1, A2, A3. Similarly,
Okay.
here we can give the description, and based on that, we can give the other questions. And
Okay.
while using sections, we also have a beautiful feature, like you can actually direct people from one section to another section. See, for example, what we do first. Let me remove this question. Let us say I am asking the first question as name, second question as place, etc. Now, after this, what should he do? After section 1, he will continue to the next section. Or I can ask him to go to section 2 or go to section 3. After he has filled the first section, where should he go? That is one thing that I can actually specify. Then second, I can also specify this based on an answer to a particular question. See, for example, here, now I would give them third question: are you interested in which of the cities you are interested to go on tour? Which of the cities you are interested to go on a tour? Right, so let us say, now I give first as Delhi, second option as Mumbai. Right, sir? Now, here, after section 1, what happens? Go to continue to next section, go to section 2, go to section 3. These are the 3 options. Yeah. Right. Go to next section, go to section 1. We have an option where, based on the answer to this question, we can evaluate.
So you have chosen Dropbox. If you choose the other one, then
Okay.
maybe.
Which Dropbox? Here. Okay. No, it's nothing related to that. I just did. Yeah. Go to section based on answer. Here you see. It's just a matter of thing you have to pick up. So here, go to section based on the answer. See what I can do. Let us say this is my. I am here taking the participants' response. Which of the cities you are interested to go on a tour? Let us say we have given him 2 options, Delhi and Mumbai. Now here in this section, what I'll do is, let us say this is Delhi. Here the question is, which places in Delhi interest you? Which places in Delhi interest you? Let us say I'm just planning a tour and I want to know how many people are interested to go to Delhi, how many people are interested to go to Mumbai. Let's say this is Mumbai section. Now here I'll repeat this question. So which places in Mumbai interest you? So I'll just simply copy which places in Mumbai interest you. Now see, this is in Delhi section. You can just simply drag it here. The question, you can drag it into the Mumbai section. Just let us remove this. Now this is how it is. So first the fellow will fill his name and place, then he will fill this column, fill this question, whether he is interested in going to Delhi or going to Mumbai. If it is Delhi, he should land in this section and he will answer this question, which places in Delhi will interest him. If he selects Mumbai, then he will land here in this section, which places in Mumbai interest him. So for that, what we will do, here we'll put a thing, go to section based on the answer. So what we'll do, if he says his answer is Delhi, then he will go to section Delhi. And if he says his answer is Mumbai, he will go to section Mumbai. I'm done with the form. Now see the beauty of this. For that, I'll just remove this. Okay, let it be, right, just to save time. Now we see the form looks like for him. Now that we have divided them into sections, the questions also appear section wise. First, it will ask for his name. It will ask for his name. Then it will ask which of the cities you are interested to go on a tour. So if he selects Delhi, then say next. He will land in Delhi. Right? Which places in Delhi interest you? Otherwise, you see here it is Delhi. Otherwise, if he selects that he was interested in Mumbai, then it will skip the section 2. It will land him in section 3 directly. That is the Mumbai section. So like this, you can actually plan how the respondent should navigate in a large questionnaire. So certain questions may be relevant for him, certain questions may not be relevant for him. So you can make him navigate through those respective questions based on how he answers these questions. Right? Maybe then after he has answered these questions, let us say now he went to Mumbai, right? Then here he submits the form. Right? So now, for example, either he goes to Mumbai or he goes to Delhi. Let us say finally he has to answer few more questions. So then what we will do? So here we'll keep one more section. So this is called end section. It is automatic. So here after section 3 we are saying go to section 4, right? But whereas here you see after section 2, right, yeah, after Delhi, here we said after he has finished this section, go to the 4th section. I think we have renamed the Mumbai. We have just taken out Mumbai section. Right, so we add one more section. Yeah, so here this is the end section. So now let us see the structure. This is the section got created. Okay. Right. First, he will fill these two what you call questions. Then he will go to tour section. In the tour section, he will select Delhi or Mumbai, and based on his question, he will go to Delhi section or Mumbai section. Let us say he landed in Delhi. After he went to Delhi section, then he should directly go to the end section. That means he should not again go to the Mumbai section. So if you say if you leave it as continue to next section, you would have gone to Mumbai. Of course, once it is Mumbai, anyway next section is end section. Otherwise, you can mention that also. So this is how it looks. Now you see the navigation. So he fills his name, he fills his place, and says next. Here he will select, let us say Delhi. Then he will go. He will answer Delhi. Then says next, it actually go to the end section. Now the Mumbai section doesn't come in the picture. Okay, so this way the Google form gives you an option to make your respondent navigate through different sections. So these are the
Sir,
some
how
of
we
the.
can insert a table in the Google form in case if I have to
Pardon?
So how can we insert a table in the Google form?
Yeah, so inserting table option is not there. What you have to do is you have to make the table into an image, and like I've shown you how to insert an image. That's what you should use.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Inserting table option is not there.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Now let us look at some of these things. Now, how do I make my respondents fill this form? I should actually go here. Once I have made this form, I should go here, and this is the address that I should be giving my respondents. So if I share this address to the respondents, so they can actually fill this form. I just put it in the chat box. Right? Remember, you shouldn't give this address. Even if you give, it will not allow them to edit it because you have not shared the edit facility with your collaborators. Even if you give this address, it doesn't matter. But this is the address that should be given to your respondents.
Can you please repeat this?
No, see, this is where you have made this form. You are in the edit page.
Yes.
But if I have to share this address of this form where people should come and fill, this you should click on this preview.
Okay.
This is the address where people will be able to fill the form.
Okay. Fine.
This you should copy and share it with your target respondents whom you want the responses from. Okay.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir, when you were teaching us Google Sites, you taught us how to create buttons. Can we create buttons here in Google Form?
No. You don't have the buttons. The only options available are shown here. Once you go into a question, here these are the only options available. Okay. You can insert date, time, etc. Right?
Okay,
and
sir.
Then you also have few more. Sorry.
Grid box.
Sir?
What is grid box?
Yeah, kindly experiment. You have whole of tomorrow.
Yes.
Right? Very, very simple. Just take grid box. It will show you how it looks like. Here, what happens? You can have questions simultaneously and the responses. You can combine 2, 3. Each row can be a question followed by few responses. You just try this. This is also trick grid box where they can one question followed by 4 options. They come one after the other in the same question. But this is a tricky method to use unless you make yourself more comfortable. Please avoid using it, or for experimentation sake you can use it. Basically in marketing studies which involve paired comparisons, etc., this option will be used. Okay,
Sir,
all of this you can experiment, please. Yeah,
sir, is there any option that based on the right answer only we will go to next section?
Based on right answer, we will explore that when we actually come out with quizzes. There are few options. We will try and teach you there. I'm not sure. We didn't check it. Okay.
Excuse
Yes.
me, sir. Can I
sir.
add?
Thank you.
Can I
Yes.
add few things?
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, you copied a link which was very huge. So just to reduce that, we can go to send button, and there we see the link, and there the big link can be shortened also, and it can be copied and pasted there.
Where, madam? Where can you just show it?
Yes,
you-
sir.
Where send
Yes, sir.
button?
You just show the form you created.
Okay.
next to
Yeah, send button. Okay.
Send button, go to there. Sir, click it. Click that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yes,
here is the just go ahead. Upper.
So dash and
both the sides
brackets.
There is a
brackets.
Yes.
There is embedded sign. Just a minute, please. Just next previous to that.
Insert link. Left side, left side, left one.
Left
search.
side, sir. Left side.
Yeah,
Yeah.
short on the
Yeah, press
URL.
it.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, okay.
Okay.
Right, good, good, good.
And there you copy also, and you can paste it.
Right
Yeah.
side copy. Right.
Oh, got it, got it.
Yes.
Got it. Good.
And another
Good, good.
another thing is that when we use the grid, we have like a few attributes which are similar or different for few questions. Like we have got certain fibers on one side and the answers on the top, and you can match the following or match like options. We can go for that grid like.
Sure, madam. That will explore when we come with the Google
Yeah.
quizzes will come.
Okay.
There
Thank
we
you,
will
sir.
teach. Right.
Okay.
Thank you for this quick help.
Okay, thank you.
Now, coming here, there are a few other things that I wanted to cover before we run out of time. So now, this is the settings page where you can actually give some, settings. See, if you select this collect email address,
Padmavati ma'am, kindly mute your mic, ma'am. Yeah, thank you. Continue, sir. Sorry.
Yeah. So when you go here to this settings, the one thing is if you take this collect email address, what it means is that the people have to sign in to fill the form. So they should have a Gmail ID and they should sign in to fill a form. And the moment you take this, actually you can come back and see what will happen in your form once you save this. This automatically gets added. That means people have to compulsorily give a valid email address. Only then they will be allowed to fill the form. Right? That is one thing that you can control from your settings. Then you can also limit to one response. That means people, instead of submitting 2-3 responses, you can limit them to submit only one response. The same way, you can also make respondents can edit after submit. This is the thing that you are now actually using to submit your daily assignment responses. Because I have enabled edit after submit, you are able to now copy that URL and save it with you, and you are able to actually submit it every day. And if you select this see summary charts and text responses, what will happen is that people will be able to see others' responses also. They would not see it by name, but they'll see majority what is the answer for this question, etc. So this can be selected if you want to allow other respondents to see the summary of the charts and text responses. So these are some of the settings which is important settings. Some other settings will be covering when we teach you the quizzes. The next important thing is that what kind of response you should give them when you actually when people submit. Actually, when people submit, there is a general response that comes out. So here the confirmation message. So here you say if you don't do anything, it will display a message your response has been recorded. If you want to give a custom message, you can say thanks for your submission. We will get back to you later. Our office will get back to you with more details, etc. Right? This can be done. Then you show progress bar is one option which shows them if there are 10 questions. After you fill first question, it will say 10% completed. That progress bar is seen just to motivate people. Of course, shuffle question order is an option that we'll use when we come with the quizzes. So these are some options. And in fact, if you want, if you would have experienced the initially about 60-70 responses that feature I have not enabled, but after 60-70 responses I had two problems actually. One is when people have submitted the response registration form for this particular program, it was displaying it's a kind of message, submit another response. That is actually, if people want to submit one more response, but people started submitting, clicking on that, and some people submitted 2-3 responses. So if I would have ticked that restrict to one response, that would have been something that would not have happened. And second, people were telling me that, especially, I don't remember the name, somebody from Mumbai called me, and sir, we are not getting any confirmation as such. I didn't even leave the custom message. So then I just searched, the website, and I have found there is one what you call add-on. See, this add-on I have used, email notification for Google Forms. Right? This is you can actually type search email notifications for Google Forms. I think. Yeah. So you can simply, it's already installed. So now you see here uninstall. If it was not installed, you would have seen here install. Just install, then it will come and sit with your Google form here. Here in this add-ons, it will be there. Email notifications. So now just click on this email notification. Let us say for this, I can enable a notification. Then I need to do a small setup. Right? Add new rule. Here I'll say email notification. Here email address to notify. I'm giving my Outlook. The moment there is a response, I want it to be notified in my Outlook mail ID. Somebody submits a response, I should know. So that is the mail ID. And this mail will go from, by default, the drairal@gmail.com. That means the mail ID with which this form is being filled. And sender's name, I would say actually for you, I have kept this name as UOH OTT FDP. And here I can actually customize a message. See what I can do, edit. So here, what I'll say, thanks for your submission. Right? Here you see, if you keep this all answers, actually whatever they have submitted as form responses, they get printed. You would have seen, you would have got a mail where your answers have come back to you. So here I'll draft a mail, dear. Actually, you can use the fields from the form. So dear, so here add from field. Add from field. So what? I'll say name. And I'll make it bold. So here, then I can write, or you can also write name from, want to add place, dear so and so from, or you can just, it doesn't look nice. So here I can write again, thanks for your interest, etc. I can just make this text, and if there are any other fields I can use from here, I can use, right, which place interest you, etc. Right? then say regards, and say save. Save rule. Now, simply a couple of you can actually submit the form. So this is my Outlook address. If anybody submits the form, I'll get a notification here as well. They will also get a notification in their mailbox. If anybody is submitting this form, there are 10 responses. If there is 11th response, I'll get a notification. Yeah, there is 11th response. So now,
Sir, please once again, please. Just
yeah.
I missed in the middle, sir.
Coming, just a minute. So here you see this. So here I got a response. I got an email notification saying here row 1, column 1. Who is that? Okay. He has filled his name as row 1, column 1. So if he has filled his actual name, this would have come here, dear so and so. Okay. All of you have experienced this. All of you have submitted your registration forms. You got a mail like this within no time. It is just made automatic by this option. I was not sending mails at the midnight or at late nights whenever you are submitting your forms. Okay. Now there are 16 responses. So that means there should be so many mails that would have come. Even those who have submitted the responses, see, these are all email notifications. So the moment somebody fills up that form, I'll get an email, as well as the person who has filled that form will also get an email. Oh, sorry, that's row 1, column 1. There is a mistake.
Yeah, it was like that only, sir.
No problem. Let us correct it. Doesn't matter. Let us correct it. So how do we do that? Go to this add-ons and go to email notification for Google Forms.
Actually, the Google form has that option. You'll have to correct that.
Manage form settings. No, actually, in that what to call it.
So your Google form has got that typing.
Google form where?
Yeah. Name says row 1, column 1. That you have to correct.
Okay. That
Sir, it should be mentioned as a short answer.
Yeah.
Got it.
Short answer.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, this is short answer. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yes. Sir.
Yeah. Now, what are the
Now it will
responses
be
that
set.
you submit? Now it will come. No problem. Okay.
Yes.
So
Sir,
I think,
sir, did you send the invitation to all for this Google form, because I didn't get it?
no. Which form? This form I have pasted it in the chat box. Now that's why 22 people have filled it now.
Okay.
I pasted it in the chat box just for experimentation.
Oh, right.
Okay. So now, where do I see these responses? For example, this is the questions. Now these are the responses. So the responses, I can see the summary, going by. These are the different emails that were submitted, right? And this is for the name. These are the responses. For the place, these are the responses. For the tour section, these are the responses. So many people are willing to go to Delhi than Mumbai. A very, very straightforward this thing for Delhi. Delhi is, nobody wants to go to Mumbai. This time I should not have asked this question. Nobody is willing to go to Mumbai. So now you can see these are the charts that even respondents can see, because we have enabled that they can see this the summary. Then if you want to go question by question, you can see the question by question. For the name question, what are the responses? These are all for the name question. These are the responses. And for the, if I take second question, place question, these are the responses, right? Or I can also see it individual by individual. So for the first individual, these are the responses. These are the responses of first individual's responses for all the questions. Then I can go and see the second individual, right? These are the second individual's responses, and so on. Then what you can actually do, you can create an Excel sheet of all these responses, and that Excel sheet keeps updating on its own, where all these responses will be captured into a Google Sheet. So how do you do it? You, having gone here, responses, simply click here, this plus sign, create spreadsheet. And it asks you what, there is a name that you want to give, you give a name, right? Test form, responses, right? And then you can create the sheet. Now you see it has created a sheet. So this is the sheet where people are actually filling the form. It gives a timestamp, the email address, because we have enabled collect email address, etc. So it is coming out with all these options. Now, where is this file actually saved? So you can actually go and see here. This is the place where it is saved, right? If you want to save it in a different location, you can choose here, right? It is already in that location where I wanted. So, or you want to, let us say, keep it here. Let me keep it here. Okay, then move here. So it will go and sit there. Or your simple step, copy this link, keep it here. So these are your test form responses. So what I used to do, how many responses I have got? Every day I used to just wake up and go to this place and see how many people have registered. Click on this. This will open up for you. And in fact, if you are using this Google form to collect your research questions, it's very simple that this becomes your Excel data sheet, which you can take it to your SPSS or any other form, and where you start analyzing the data. So there are also some issues related to you should experiment the questioning such a way how it is getting captured into Excel sheet, because this Excel sheet should be ready-made for you to get into the analysis. So all this you can practice. You can just experiment, just put a multiple choice question there and come back and see how it is captured in the Excel sheet. Put a checkbox there, come back and see how it is captured in Excel sheet. You can experiment this, and you should achieve a comfortable Excel sheet. Then only you should open up the questionnaire for filling, so that it will save you a lot of data coding time. So if you can properly plan this, it will save you a lot of data coding time. Then finally, after some time you are fed up with this, you can actually stop accepting responses. That means if I just click this, so from now onwards, nobody will be able to submit any response. Or you can also leave a message saying registration closed. So once you click on registration close, the people who are now going to actually get to that sheet, so now they will be displayed this message. Once they go to this form, they will be displayed this message: registration closed. Okay.
So, ma'am, can you mute your mic, ma'am?
Here and take questions. Like I told you, there are so many add-ons that are available. Even to be used with Google Forms. So the basic idea is you should get into that first, start tasting the fruits of the Google Form, have few forms made, mailed, and take responses and see how it is actually working with the Excel sheet, and where it is getting saved, right, things like that. So somebody was asking me how to do the what to call that email thing. An extension called
Sir, excuse me,
email
sir.
notifications for Google Forms. So once you install that email notification for Google Forms, simply go into Google, type email notification for Google Forms, then it says install, it automatically gets installed. Just give your Gmail ID. And once you install them, it will come and sit here. Email notification for Google Forms. Just click on this notification. So here, first, if it is first form, then it will say, enable notification.
Sir, I have one question, sir.
Yes,
One
madam.
doubt.
Yeah.
Suppose I'm taking 4 sections, A, B, C, D,
Oh.
like that. I conducted exam A. The same I want to use for D also. No need to prepare another question, another Google form. Is it possible?
It is
to
possible.
change
You
the
can, yeah. You can actually copy this. See, for example, this is the. Let me just finish this, madam. This email notification. I'll come back to your question. Now, this is the email notification. Then I'm just updating this rule. What happened? Oh, there is one problem with this, because this is a what to call free version of the notifications. It will allow only 20 responses per day. It will allow only 20 responses per day. Apart from 20 responses, it will not work.
actually 100, sir. 100, sir. If we buy, then it will go to 1500. It's 100 responses.
No,
One Google Sheet.
yeah, the one that I have installed is only 20 responses. Which is 100, madam? I'm talking about email notifications.
Yes, sir. Suppose in our class 60 students are there, they have to respond within 1 hour about their attendance. Then they have to take complete, not 20. 20 is not our.
I'm not talking about responses to the Google form. I'm talking about how many email notifications can be sent in a day.
Yes, sir. That also should the high number, not the 20.
Okay, I'll show you here the one that. So here, enable notifications. So I'm repeating this. How to enable notifications. Let us say for this form, if you want to enable notifications, what you do, go to this add-on, then click email notifications for Google Forms, then say enable notifications. Then you get this window. So in this window, you have to add a new rule. So here, rule name, you give rule 1. And here you should give your email ID where you want this notification to be sent to. That means the moment a form is submitted, I want to get an email on this email ID. That is the email ID you should give. Then this is the mail ID from which the notification will be sent to. Then what is the sender's name? So you can give your name, or you can give the subject name, right, or class name, something like that, right? Then here, what is the message? Here you have to edit this message. This message is something like this. here add some field. So here answers to what is your name. That means his name, whatever the name that he types in this particular what is your name question, it will come here. So then say comma. Here you can write all your matter and say regards, and you can say your name. You can custom whatever the matter you want, then save. And once you save, it is done. Save rule. Right? So it says you can email up to 4 responses today. I don't know, because I have used already 16 responses. It is now 4. Right? Now this is enabled. The moment somebody submits a response to this form, so let us say some SSS has submitted a response, right? Email address, so we'll say some other email address. Submit. Now this would generate an email for me.
Sir, this 20 is because you have received only 20 responses.
No, not like that. Because see, I have lived. Just don't worry about this nitty gritty. I have lived this exercise. You have submitted so many. 200 people have submitted their responses. Only for in a day for first 20 people it was sending, and if it is beyond 20, it is asking for you to pay. Doesn't matter. There are so many email notification apps that are available. You just try some of them, and if like some madam is telling, if it is 100, I would like to, madam, you can just share the details in the WhatsApp group, madam, so that we can download that. If it is accepting 100 emails in a day, that is excellent.
Yes, sir. We have to send to the class. We have to make it.
Okay, madam. Please share that in the WhatsApp box, what you call chat box, then we'll maybe people can download that and see.
Okay.
Right? It's all.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, one question, sir. This email add-on, is it possible in free version or in G Suite only?
The free version also it is available.
Available, okay.
Yeah, this is a third-party app, so it is available in free version also.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
So, any questions? I'll stop the lecture here and then.
Sir.
Yes, madam.
Sir, excuse me, sir. Sir, I've got a doubt, sir. You have created 4 different sections, sir. Suppose if I want the responses of the 4 different sections separately, I want to collect the data of 4 different sections separately. How do I segregate that data in the Google Sheet, sir?
No, madam. This is the form. Let us say, okay. You make one form, right?
Okay, sir.
Then what you do? You go here, these 3 dots, and here you have an option called make a copy.
Okay, sir.
So you make a copy, then you say form 2.
Okay.
So that means you make form once, but you can make it 4 copies or 5 copies you want.
Okay, sir.
And each copy will have a different address. This form 2 is having a different address, and the original form is having a different address.
Okay, sir.
So with each section, you share that particular form that you have made for section A.
Okay, sir.
This will solve your problem, and you will have 4 different Excel sheets.
Sir, suppose if I have got all my responses in single sheet, will I be able to copy the downloaded Excel sheet into 4 different sheets, sir? Excel sheet, the section 1, 2, 3, 4 separately, that would be done, sir?
Yeah, once you have an Excel sheet with you, which is form responses, you can this Excel sheet, this Google sheet is Excel sheet, you can download it. You can go to file, download it, you can make copies. Right? See here, you can download it as a Microsoft Excel. Once you press on this, it gets downloaded into your system. See, now I have saved this on my desktop.
Okay, okay,
Once
sir.
I saved it on my desktop, it becomes an Excel sheet. If it is here, it's a Google sheet.
Okay, okay. So from that, I can copy the respective sections.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions?
Sir, I have
Sir,
one more.
I have
Yeah, please.
downloading and what we have other 4 forms we have to copy manually, right, sir?
It's not audible. Can you repeat, please?
Sir, now our discussion is copying of 4 sections, 4 forms.
Yeah.
So then after downloading Excel sheet, we have to do manual copying.
No. If you are sharing them as 4 different forms, 4 to 4 sections, automatically 4 Excel files will be created. For each section, a separate Excel file will be created.
Okay.
No. For each form, you get one Excel file, madam.
I got that one, sir. Actually, if we need everything in one booklet of Excel sheet,
Then you do one thing. Don't use 4 forms. You use only one form, but add section as one question. They will say section A, section B. They'll select their section.
Yeah, right, sir. Exactly.
So in one Excel sheet only, you will have one column where section is mentioned.
Yes, sir. Exactly. You are right. You are right, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
If we
Sir,
keep
Professor, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir, I
Satish
have a
Kumar.
doubt, sir.
Yes,
sir. Most of the times, by submitting the feedback form in a webinar, we get a certificate in the reply mail automatically, I think so. How it is possible, sir?
Just like I have shown you now, that email response. There we have edited one letter, right?
Okay, sir.
In the place of that letter, they'll keep the certificate.
A certificate, we have to, it is generated automatically, or we have to put the name and so on so details on the certificate, then we have to attach it to, sir?
That we are covering on the last day. Wait.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank
Sir,
you,
can
sir.
you please talk about quizzes and all which you have mentioned?
This will
Google
come back
quiz and the other
evaluation in Google Classroom.
Sorry, sir?
We'll be covering it in Google Classroom and evaluation in Google using Google
Okay,
Classroom.
okay. Because it was mentioned in today's topic, so I thought maybe.
No. Yeah. Any other questions?
Sir, would you please show once how to transfer the data from Google Sheet to Excel and in spreadsheet? Just show. If you can just
Google?
show once. From the form to the spreadsheet.
It's very simple. Here, this is the form. Go to responses and click on this icon. View responses in sheets. It will open up that sheet and you save it wherever you want.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Sir, excuse me, sir.
Yes, madam.
Sir, I'm Talajaha Begum. Actually, yesterday I had filled up the that form for creating that Google Meet URL. I had created that 4th day outcome, but why it is not showing in the spreadsheet?
It will be showing maybe before that you would have actually filled one form, but now you check somewhere down it should be there.
No, sir, I checked it now. Like 3rd day response is there, but 4th day response it is not there. Immediately after like 7:15 or something around, I just filled the form and submitted.
Nothing to worry. You have the link with
No,
you.
I'm not worried, sir. I just want to know what actually I'm lacking with. Something might have done by mistake or what.
It doesn't matter. You open your form link once again and see if that information is there or it is not there. If that information is there, it is just that you are not able to locate it in the file. I'll check out and let you know, madam.
Sir,
Okay, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
Sir, one more question.
Yes,
How can we, the import part, like from Excel, how can we import it into the Google form? Can
No. I'm not sure. I said we'll just check out and let you know. From both.
From Excel also we cannot do it, sir.
That's what, madam. I haven't seen. We didn't do it so far. If there is such a facility, we'll check out and let you know tomorrow. Okay. Yeah. So thank you all for your
Sir, assignment, sir.
participation. I think you have enjoyed the
Yes, a very useful class. We enjoyed it. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Set for tomorrow's assignment. Sir,
Any assignment
Thank you,
is
sir.
there?
for tomorrow's assignment. హలో అక్క. అక్క. ఓకే, డిన్నర్ అయిపోయిందా? ఓకే ఓకే, సరే ఎంజాయ్ చేయండి. నేను క్యాజువల్గానే చేశాను. ఏం పర్లేదు, మీరు లంచ్ చేస్తున్నారేమో అనుకొని ఇంకా నేను వదిలేసాను. లంచ్ టైం కదా, అది అయిపోయి ఉండొచ్చేమో అని చేస్తాను. సరే. ఓకే ఓకే.
హలో హలో మురుగన్. క్లోజ్ చేసుకో.